Alright guys, it's me, it's TYCOON, coming back to you with another review, and this is of Godzilla x Kong, A New Empire. What can I say about this movie? If you follow my reviews, you will know that I really have enjoyed the MonsterVerse. Yes, I loved Godzilla Minus One last year. I thought that's the best Godzilla movie out there. Skull Island, Kong Skull Island, Kong vs Godzilla, so on and so forth. I loved it all. So, did this movie, destroy my expectations? No, my expectations were well up there, and more importantly, this movie delivered. It got the balance right to a certain degree. And what I mean by getting the balance right to a certain degree is that it didn't focus so much on the human side. You knew that the human side was going to be exposition based. But it actually had two really interesting stories going on behind. There's three stories in total. There's a human side of the story, there's Godzilla's side of it, and there's Kong's side. And they focus more in terms of the MonsterVerse, in terms of, how can I put this? The story was much more to do with Kong than to do with Godzilla. Godzilla was basically, you know what, I'm the ultimate martial artist out here. I don't care who comes at me, I'll destroy them all. And my God, does he do that? It is brilliant how he does it. You're just watching it, it's like, yeah, you think you got me? Nope! Atomic bomb, left, right, and center. I loved it. But, when you're looking at the human side of it, it is exposition. They did bring back Brian Tyree Henry from Godzilla, Kong vs. Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Kong, whatever one you want to call it. They brought him back to continue the podcast, and they left out Millie Bobby Brown, which and her family, which I think was actually a good thing. Focus back on Rebecca Hall's character and the adopted daughter from the Iwa tribe in the Kong vs. Godzilla movie. And they brought in Dan Stevens, being a doctor, who actually can operate on someone like Kong. And you see it in the first 20 minutes that Kong actually has a bad tooth, and he operates on him, which is quite good. But the movie's three separate storylines leads to a bigger, combining everything into one. And like I said, they got the balance right between the three. You had the human side. It didn't delve too deeply in there in terms of screen time. What you did want to see more of was going to be of Godzilla. For obvious reasons, it's Godzilla, you want to see more of it. But Kong discovering his people. If you've seen the trailers, which you would have seen that there's a kid and it's quite interesting because Kong has been alone forever and a day and finally discovers his people, and turns out that his people are, some of them are a bunch of dicks, and others are just really, they have to do what they have to do because of, the big bad guy in terms of Scar. But it was really well done. They set locations all over the planet. I don't want to give too much away because I want you to go see the movie. But more importantly, I mean, if I just give a basic synopsis of it, it is Kong is doing his part. Kong is trying to find his people, which he does. He also finds the King Scar, who we know is going to be the villain. If you've seen the trailers already, you will know this, that the internet chat was out there big time. The Ice Age monster is there, whose name I've actually forgotten, but it's actually quite good how they brought him in. It's remarkable because the CGI was used properly. The CGI for Kong, where he does his fights against King Scar and some of the other monsters which is out there, you really get into it. Godzilla with his fights is very much, he's knocking them out big time. He's like Deontay Wilder, get him in front of the punch, done. That kind of thing. He's not looking to knock out, drag out. He's looking to kill them straight as soon as he can. And you see that. You see that with Godzilla. It's kind of fascinating. With the human characters, you do get the sense that we are really tiny in this world because of the size and how they're moving at speed It's not big, lumbersome, cumbersome type of thing. There is some real speed to this, and it's kind of shocking how fast that things move. Again, with the agility of Kong and the agility of King Scar dodging atomic blasts and stuff like that, it's really good. They even brought back a good old fan favorite in terms of Mothra, and that's where the Ewa girl, the deaf mute girl, that's where her main stuff comes in from, because she's actually telepathic, and brings back Mothra, who's able to then bring Kong and Godzilla together. Because when Kong and Godzilla finally meet up in Cairo, yeah, it's not good pals shaking hands, it's throwing hands. And actually quite, because what they do with the facial expressions for Kong, it portrays it all. And the story, like I said before, had they focused on Kong's story, was really good. In terms of in terms of the movie, like I said, I want you to go see it, because I think this is a cinematic experience, which is what they really were looking to deliver in Godzilla vs. Kong. But because of the pandemic, they put it to streaming. They wanted to really rectify this, and it's very clear that they want to do that. In terms of Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score was 55% to 60%, depends on when you actually see it. And the audience score is 92%. Now, you may remember when I started this, it's because I didn't want to go down the road saying I am a film critic. No, I'm not. I wouldn't know Act 1 from Act 3, when it starts, when it ends, what the acts are, why it happens that way. I'm not that guy. I'm an audience guy. I'll go into, pay my money, watch the film, and come out hopefully enjoying it and feeling that my time has been well worth spent. And my money has been well spent. And this is what cinema is designed for. These are the kind of movies that want you to go out and watch it in cinema. You know, on the big screen, with the surround sound, because this is what it is. Big, loud, good fun. You're laughing at certain events. Laugh out loud at certain events. You know, especially Kong. Bloody hell. They made sure Kong stole the show in this. And Godzilla, he wasn't a supporting character in his own movie. He was like, you know what? Yeah, you know me. Anyone who steps to me, I'm gonna just destroy them. So let's just take my time with this, and that kind of thing. So they didn't really need to focus on Godzilla. They had already established all of that. It's Kong's story that they wanted to establish more in this. And I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Bringing back Mothra again, really good. And you know that everything's shifted in this new monsterverse. The world has completely changed in it, and we're just living in their world. And that was quite. How can I put this? That was made clear in the final battle. In Rio de Janeiro. Less I say about that, the better. You guys need to watch it. So, on that note, whatever platform you're watching this on, wherever you find me, give me a like, give me a follow, give me a subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And as always, if you guys don't know how to do that, you don't need to go back to school. So says the TYCOON.